This is Mr. Martin. These are the video notes for Geometry Honor Section 9.10, Solving Triangles. So, what does it mean to solve a triangle? Well, we want to find any missing parts. So when you get to trig and you want to solve a triangle, you're going to look for any missing sides and angles. For this class, it'll mostly specify what you want to find. Um, but when you're talking about solving a triangle, that's what you're looking for, any of the missing parts, angles, or sides. So the methods that we're going to have so far to use are Pythagorean theorem, or we could use right triangle trig, sine, cosine, and tangent at this point. Or you may want to use your special right triangles, 30, 60, 90s, 45, 45, 90s, or Pythagorean triples. So, and again, I want to caution you not to use 30, 60, 90s or 45, 45, 90s, those special ratios, unless you know that the triangle is one of those, and you'll have to be given some information that would indicate that. So let's go ahead and look at an example. We want to solve for x and y. Here we have a right triangle, and I know that this leg is 10, and this side is length x, and this side is length y, and I'm also given that this angle here is 48 degrees. So it's not a 30, 60, 90 or 45, 45, 90, so we're going to have to use SOHCAHTOA because we only know one of the sides. We need the sides to use Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to look at the x and the 10 first. So the 10 is my opposite side. This is my opposite side. And then this is my adjacent side. And if I'm looking at SOHCAHTOA, the function that uses the opposite and the adjacent is tangent. So I know that the tangent of that angle, which is 48 degrees, is going to be equal to the opposite side, which is 10, over the adjacent side, which is x. And then I just need to solve for x. So I'm going to put that over 1. I'm going to cross multiply. So I get x tan 48 is equal to 10. Divide both sides by tan 48. And make sure that hit your mode button on your calculator and make sure that you are in degree mode so that your answer is in degrees. And 10 divided by tan 48 should give us around 9.0. Now once we have x and we know what the opposite side is, we could use Pythagorean theorem on those, but I'm going to go ahead and get some extra practice using right triangle trig. So now I'm working with the opposite side and the hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse is the sine. So the sine of 48 degrees is opposite, which is 10, over hypotenuse, which is y. So again, I'm going to put this over 1. I'm going to cross multiply to get y sine 48 is equal to 10. Divide both sides by sine 48, and I get that y is about 13.46. Alright, so moving on. Angle of elevation and depression. So before we talk exactly what they are, I want to caution you that the most important thing to remember with this concept is to always measure the angle from the horizontal. So we're going to draw a little picture here. I'm going to have a cliff, and then we're going to have some water here, and we're going to have a person standing over here, and we're going to have some birds flying up here, and I'm going to have a sailboat down here. Make sure we put a person in there so someone's steering the boat. So when I talk about the horizontal, I'm talking about the horizontal line of sight. So if you look straight out, parallel to the horizon, this is the horizontal line of sight. Okay, so now if I look up, so my eyes are at the horizontal, and then I'm going to look up to my birds, this angle here from the horizontal up is called my angle of elevation. Or if I look down to the boat, the angle from the horizontal, again always from the horizontal, is going to be my angle of depression. Okay, so if you keep that in mind, that the angle is always either up from the line of sight or down from the line of sight, you should be okay with these types of problems. So let's take a look at a quick example. Maria is standing 320 feet away from the Martin Tower. So let's draw the Martin Tower here. So here's the Martin Tower, and here's the ground, and here's Maria way over here, and she's standing 320 feet away. We'll always just assume it's from right in the middle of the building. And she measures that the angle of elevation from the ground to the top of the tower is 75 degrees. So from the ground to the top of the tower, remember from the horizontal, so if she was laying on the ground, her horizontal line of sight would be parallel to the ground, is 75 degrees, and we want to find the height of the tower. So basically what we're looking at here is a right triangle. So this would be the hypotenuse, and then we've got a leg here, which would be the height, and we've got another leg here, which is the distance that she is from the tower. Okay, and we want to find that leg. So just an application of right triangle trig. I've got the opposite side here. I've got the adjacent side here. And I know that the tangent uses opposite and adjacent. So the tangent of 75 degrees is equal to the opposite, which is h, over the adjacent, which is 320. I'm going to put that over 1. I'm going to cross multiply. So I get 320 times the tangent of 75 is equal to h, which means that the height of the building is approximately 1,194 feet. Okay, keep in mind that if there are units given in the problem, which there are feet here, make sure that you include them in your answer as well so that you get full credit. Alright, that's all for this lesson. If you had any questions or you need some clarification, make sure that you ask me, and we will see you next time.